I just got back from the comic book store. Our local comic book store, Modern Explorers Guild. I went there, obviously looking for the Godzilla 70th anniversary comic anthology released by IDW Publishing. As you all know, if you've watched the recent episodes of Growing Up with Godzilla, I participated in writing a story with Matt Frank in The Shadow of a God, which appears in the comic. And I found it. I found it. I am holding it. I'm not gonna lie, like after I got it, I sat in my car for like 5 minutes and got a little weepy because you all know, if you followed me for any extended period of time, you know how serious this is for me. It's a very full circle moment as a writer and as a Godzilla fan. When I was a kid, I mean, if you've watched Growing Up with Godzilla, you know I've talked about this quite a bit, but I began my love of writing through Godzilla fan fiction. As a teenager, I would write these elaborate Godzilla fanfics, but even prior to that, I fell in love with comic books. I would write and illustrate these Godzilla comic books that I fancied to be wonderful stories back between like 1998 and 2003. Like, it's a very creative, artistic period in my life where I wanted to draw really badly, and I did. But that kind of fell away, and I obviously write for a living as opposed to illustrate. But I still have those old comics. I just Godzilla versus Rodan. I felt that Rodan needed more stories, so I wrote Rodan stories. Rebirth of Mothra 9. I have like 16 Rebirth of Mothras. Can you tell that I love the Mothra trilogy? But being able to go from that over 20 years ago to holding this now, it does not feel real to me. It doesn't feel real to me. Because at that time in my life, I so desperately wanted to write Godzilla stories. I wanted to, do something, work on an official Godzilla project as a kid. And now that I've actually had the opportunity to do so because Matt Frank so graciously opened the door for me, I just, I cannot begin to process it. I, I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful that I have had the writing opportunities that I've had, and this is truly one of the most unique ones that I've ever had. And honestly, as I continue as a career writer, like I've been giving serious consideration to doing more comic book writing. I have a treasure trove of pitches. Well, I think a treasure trove of pitches and comic book story proposals that I've just let sit, in a distant, you know, uh, external hard drive somewhere, and I think I'm gonna dig those out and just try to submit them and see what happens. If nothing comes of it, that's fine, but I can always say that, I got a chance to do this. I got a chance to write for an anniversary comic book anthology. But if, a publisher bites and they love what they see, then that could really be pretty monumental for my career as a writer and as a Godzilla fan. So I wanted to thank everyone who has encouraged me and who has been with me on this journey so many years, who's followed me here. You know this is a very serious thing for me, and that I take it very seriously. But I also want to encourage you that if you are a writer or an illustrator and you're really passionate about a franchise, like, I am living proof that it's possible to eventually get to the point of doing something like this. The fact that I was able to write poetry for a comic in my favorite franchise, and kind of marry those two worlds together is such a full circle moment that I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to have a full circle moment like this again. But again, like, I've profusely thanked Matt Frank, especially in the recent episode of Growing Up with Godzilla, for opening this door. I think as artists and writers, like, if we can open doors for people, it's important that we do so. And Matt graciously thought of me, and I don't know, I'm gonna stop being emotional and I'm gonna just take it out of the packaging. I'm not gonna show you the interior because I want you to be able to go out and get it and look at it for yourself. But I will. Okay, I will at least show you the title page to show you that is it in fact legit. Look it, it's right there. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. I just. If you would like a copy, I have Matt's store linked below. I also will be getting author copies of my own, and I will be signing them. If anybody wants a signed copy from me, shoot me a message on social media or email me. And just thank you.